Hello and welcome. My name is Sunshine Amos, the CEO and Project Manager, Sunshine Resources. This is the video series, The Entrepreneurs. This video is prepared to provide you with quality knowledge about entrepreneurship. And this is the second episode in the video series. In the first episode, we talked about unemployment and the consequences of unemployment. We also talked about how to tackle unemployment in Nigeria. I've dropped a link to the video in the description box below this video. In today's video, we'll be learning about entrepreneurship. We're going to be learning who an entrepreneur is and the qualities of an entrepreneur. But before then, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing so that you get posted of all our videos and resources each time we upload them. Now, without any further ado, let's go straight to the point. What is entrepreneurship, or who is an entrepreneur? Now, entrepreneurship is the ability and willingness to develop, organize and manage a business venture with all the risk involved in order to make profit. I like that word, profit. Now let's go into understanding some of the elements in this definition. The first one is ability. Ability here refers to the knowledge or skill set required to power the entrepreneurship venture. Every entrepreneurship venture will require some sort of practical skill for it to take off and survive. The word practical used here is very important. Every business venture will require some display of activities by the entrepreneur in question, and these activities are controlled by the knowledge and skills of the entrepreneur. The next element in this definition is willingness. The willingness to go into a business venture is paramount to the creating and survival of the business. I have noticed over time that when it comes to willingness to go into business, the uneducated are much more willing to go into business ventures than the educated ones. That is, those without certificate are much more willing to go into business ventures than those with higher certificate. If you should test their entrepreneurship desires, you will notice that the uneducated ones have the strongest desire to go into business, whereas the educated ones have very weak desire to go into business. Now, what could be responsible for this? On the other hand, the educated ones usually have a strong desire for employment. These account for the reason why unemployment is higher among the educated than the uneducated. We also notice that the uneducated may have more creative potential and power than the educated ones. Now, if you pick two young men, for example, one educated and the other uneducated, maybe from the eastern part of Nigeria, to perform this test on them, this is what you will come up with. Educated ones are those with certificates, the graduate, that is those with first degree, master's degree, and even PhD. They are not usually willing to go into business. They prefer employment. Take for example, if you keep banana and money before a monkey, the monkey will go for the bananas instead of the money, not knowing that money can buy even a banana tree. This is the reason why we have so much unemployment in Nigeria. People prefer to go with salary than profits. Now, this is so because the curriculum that builds a graduate up is not fortified with any skill, and skills are required for any business venture to start. We're all schooled through the curriculum to become employees. Employees are glorified servants. We were educated with the norms of how to serve a master. This is the reason why we have become addicted servants. Today, if you go to most Nigerian employers, the workers are not even happy because their take-home pay is nothing to write home about. You will notice over the years that the salary is the most stable currency that is ever known. Let me put it that way. And inflation is constantly sweeping the value of the naira, and the salary remains the same thing at all times. Now, the only option left for them is to embark on industrial action. That's the reason why we hear of strikes here and there in almost all parastatals. This is because the masters, that is the employers, have consistently refused to listen to the plight of the servants. But the problem is not even in the salary. The problem is their mindset trapped in that slave mentality of salary. You will never see a worker who will resign to start a business until he or she is sacked. This is when he or she now start to plan for business with a sad emotions, unprepared, not willing even to go into the business, but kind of forced by the circumstances around him or her. In business, you cannot start with such emotions and succeed. This is the reason why we came up with this video series, to liberate you from that trap of slave mentality. Now, other important elements in the definition that I would like to mention are, as an entrepreneur, you have to, number one, develop, number two, organize, number three, manage the business, including the risk involved. Now, this is where the leadership quality comes in. Next, we'll talk about our qualities of an entrepreneur. Let's go through the qualities of an entrepreneur. The number one quality of an entrepreneur is passion. When choosing the business you want to do, it is important that you follow your heart. And right inside your heart is your passion. Your passion is something you love to do, even if nobody pays you for doing it. It is something you enjoy doing. If you're the type that loves cooking, then restaurant is the ideal business for you. All that you're expected to do is to acquire cooking skills in order to develop your passion. If you're the type that loves fashion, then fashion designing is ideal for you. Do not go into a business just because others are doing it. You may not succeed like them. Passion is very important, especially at the infant stage of your business. Passion gives you the energy to withstand the challenges in the business. It is important to say here that passion helps you fuel your ability and willingness to start the business. Please also note that whatever you love to do, there is always a business side of it. If, for example, you have certain talent or gift, you can build a business around your talent or gift. Another quality of an entrepreneur is discipline. Discipline has to do with your ability to keep to rules and regulation of your business and also do things right. For anything to succeed, you must obey the guiding rules. Most of the wealthiest nations of the world are people who are not even religious. They don't even pray, but they are very disciplined and they do things right. Obedience to laws governing a business guarantees success. Obedience breaks resistance to challenges. Take, for example, if you take a mango seed and you obey the law of seed, such as planting it on a fertile soil and you water it, the mango seed will germinate. In no time, it becomes a tree. If you plant this seed near a wall, it can crack the wall and even fall it. That's the power of obeying the law of seed. Now, before you start a business, find out the laws that governs your business. A business is likened to a seed. Every business idea is a seed. You create life into your business when you move the idea from your mind into the physical. Now, doing all this requires some level of discipline. Failure to obey the laws of your business leads to failures. Another quality of an entrepreneur is determination. An entrepreneur is likened to a soldier who wants to fight war with everybody common enemy, poverty. Poverty has imprisoned millions of people in Nigeria. To break from that shackle of poverty, determination is what you need. Determination is the courage you need to face the war. A lot of factors may be against you, especially if you are a graduate. I remember when I graduated from the university and I told my uncle, the man who brought me up then, that I want to go into business. He frowned at the idea. According to him, business is for dropout. And I said, but I want to follow my heart and I don't want to do what everybody is doing. Determination can also be likened to your commitment toward your business. For me, the first unofficial wedding I've ever done was with my business. When I took my business to be my first wedded wife, to be with my business in sickness or in health till death do us apart. Most people fail in their businesses because they treat their businesses with levity. But when they were working for other people as employee, they will wake up very early in the morning, gulp their breakfast through their throat, and off they rush to their jobs. Because if they don't do that, they get fired. And now that they have started their own business, because they are the boss and they are not accountable to anybody, they treat the businesses just the way they want it. And that cannot lead to growth and development in business. Your business needs special attention. It needs your determination and needs your commitment. Just like I said earlier, business is like a child. When you take care of him, when he grows up, he will also take care of you. My business now takes care of me and my family. Another quality of an entrepreneur is creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one quality of an entrepreneur that I love so much. Creativity. This is one quality of human beings that point them to the image and likeness of God Almighty. Now listen to this. The poverty in Nigeria is not due to lack of resources. It is due to lack of creativity. I will take that again. Maybe you didn't hear me very well. The poverty in Nigeria is not due to lack of resources. It is due to lack of creativity. Nigeria is gradually becoming the poverty hub of the world, with over half of its population in abject poverty. We have creativity crisis in Nigeria. The resources are wasted in the bush. Nobody is creating anything. Let me shock you. We have graduates of botany roaming the street of Abuja looking for white-collar jobs, whereas the bamboo trees in their villages are wasting away because they don't even know that the Chinese use bamboo tree to make toothpick. And so we buy toothpick imported from China. The Chinese are the most creative people in the world. Creativity is a product of thinking. The Japanese will say, good product, good thinking. What we are going through in Nigeria points to the fact that we are not thinking. All the graduates in Nigeria are thinking on how to get a job. The beautiful girls in Nigeria are thinking on how to expose their sexy contours of their bodies. The ugly girls are thinking on how to make themselves beautiful. The street boys are thinking on how to sag their trousers. A typical civil servant is thinking on how to extort money from clients in the office. Nobody is thinking creatively and innovatively. I understand that in United Arab Emirates, primary and secondary schools have subjects called creativity and innovations. Now check your kitchen and tell me how many things in your kitchen are made in Nigeria. Most of them are made in China. All of them, virtually all of them are made in China. We are addicted consumers. A consuming nation will ever remain a poor nation. No nation grows by consuming other people's product only. In economics, there is what is called gross national productivity. It is going to reach zero if we position ourselves as addicted consumers. In China, for example, every family compound produces something. They have a kind of central warehouse where they move all products to before they are shipped to us here. Like I always ask people, do you have a product of your own in the market? In the subsequent videos in this training course, we will make a video on product. You will be shocked by the time you discover how entrepreneurs control the world with product. Entrepreneurship is a form of kingship, and that is the part of leadership that I want, using product to control and lead people. Make sure you subscribe because we will come up with a full-fledged video on creativity and product. Now let's go to advantages of entrepreneurship. The first one here is that it helps in job creation. I love this one. It helps in job creation. This is one advantage of entrepreneurs that I love so much. It makes me a boss. I'm accountable to myself. While creating my business, the first thing I did was to employ myself. If nobody wants to employ you, at least you should be able to employ yourself now, and maybe later you can employ other people to work for you. You can even employ graduates to work for you if you can pay them good salary. You can even employ a professor to work for you. Sir Gabriel Igbenidon, the founder of Igbenidon University, he is just a school cert holder, but he has hundreds of professors working for him. This is the beauty of entrepreneurship. You create jobs for yourself and other people. That feels wonderful, right? Is it not gross shamefulness that nobody wants to employ you and you cannot employ yourself? It is total disgrace on your personality, especially with all the degrees, honors you have backed. Like I always say, that employment you are always looking for, it did not drop from the sky. It was created by people like you and me. Another advantage of entrepreneurship is that it brings about leadership qualities in you. It brings about the leadership qualities in you. Entrepreneurs are not necessarily the most intelligent people, but they are smart at seeing and identifying smart ideas from themselves, smart ideas they come up with, or even from other people. In most cases, entrepreneurs are very good at discovering good ideas and opportunities. This is the beginning of leadership tasks carried out by entrepreneurs. In other words, they develop, organize, and manage the business ventures. Good business leadership brings about profit and growth in business. Entrepreneurs usually surround themselves with people that have great ideas, either as partners, business, or even employees. Another advantage of entrepreneurship is that it brings about financial freedom. This is also another beautiful one. It brings about financial freedom. The common way by which people earn money is through salary. Salary is a trap. If you ask a young graduate, for example, how do you want to make money? Well, he will say, I pray God give me a good job and that will give me good salary. And truly, that's the only way 98% of people know. Salary is the bribe you receive for you to forget your destiny. Salary is the reason why most people are poor. It does not guarantee financial freedom. Most salary earners will go into debt before the 15th day of every month. It's a vicious circle. Another advantage of entrepreneur is that it brings about independence. Like we all know, Nigeria got her independence on the 1st of October 1960. The question I jokingly ask people sometimes is that, when will you get your independence? People generally tie their life and destinies to an employer. They even take the oath to work for people till retirement do them apart. You then wonder, what kind of slavery is this? By the time they are retired, they are old and weak and cannot start any business. Another advantage of entrepreneur is that it gives opportunity of doing what you love to do. This is one quality that I love so much. Doing what you love brings about the best in you. It makes life fun and interesting. It develops your creative energy and makes you valuable to the world. Obviously, you cannot be creative when you are doing a job you don't like. Most people are not happy with their jobs, but they are trapped in the slave mentality. This is the status quo. This is what majority of the people are doing. Majority of people operate in the system of mediocrity. Now let's briefly look at the challenges of entrepreneurs. Let's go through the challenges of entrepreneurs. The challenges are: number 1, lack of adequate fund and skills; number 2, high cost of raw materials; number 3, government policy; number 4, poor transportation system; number 5, poor infrastructure such as road network and power. Now these are the challenges you will face as an entrepreneur, but you can always overcome them. For the skills, we have gone so far to bring you dozens and dozens of skills here on our YouTube channel. We approach these skills from a very simple domestic capacity. We try to use inexpensive materials in all our productions to make it easy for you, to make it affordable for you, such that with as little as 5,000 naira, you can start a production business at home. This is what most of us were not aware of. I mean that you can produce household products like detergent, hair styling gel, air freshener, Dettol, etc. at home. In the school, the impression given to us was that these things are made in the industries with sophisticated machines. And when you pay excursion to the industry and see the array of machines network in the industry, if you had desire to become a production entrepreneur, the first question you ask yourself is that, where will I get the capital to assemble all these plants? Not knowing that you can even start from your home. That is what we want to demystify at Sunshine Resources. Very soon we will also include digital skills. For example, we will teach you how to start a YouTube channel. We have couples of videos on how to create website using Joomla and HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. In the next video, we'll expatiate on how to create product and creativity. We'll delve into how to create wealth with product. You'll be shocked if you know how entrepreneurs use product to control our consuming power, thereby killing our own creative power. Consuming other people's product makes you remain an addicted consumer for life. And this is what we want to let you know in the next video edition. Until then, thank you very much for watching. We have dropped link to our ebooks and other resources in the description box below this video. So thank you very much for watching, and God bless you. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching, and God bless you.